I'm Brianne Falgien. I'm here to talk to you about your personal injury case. I understand you were in a car collision and I'm sorry to hear it.
Yes, I was, and I have been getting phone calls from my insurance company and from the other driver's insurance company, and I don't know who I'm supposed to be talking to, I don't know who I'm supposed to be opening up claims with, and at this time, I do think I need your help.
Okay, you sound like 99.99% of my clients. You're not alone. Let's talk about it. Does the other driver have bodily injury liability coverage?
I don't know.
Do you know what the policy limits are on that policy?
I'm not sure.
Do you have MedPay, medical payments coverage, through your own auto insurance policy?
Again, I don't know.
Do you have UM, also known as underinsured motorist or uninsured motorist, through your own auto policy?
I'm not sure.
You need to get educated. It's time for an FYI from FWI. Let's head to my classroom.
Okay.
The first thing we're going to talk about today is bodily injury liability insurance coverage. And how this applies to your car collision case is first we're going to look to the insurance policy on the vehicle in which the at-fault driver was in at the time they injured you. So we're going to take a look at that policy to see who the insurance company is. And once we find that out, we're going to take a look at what are the bodily injury liability insurance policy limits. How we do that is we're going to send a statutory notice to their registered agent of that insurance company, and we're going to determine if they have the state minimum here in Colorado, which is $25,000, or if they have something more. That is one piece of the insurance puzzle we must determine, and we must determine that very early on in the case. Bodily injury liability insurance coverage is going to compensate you for your medical bills, your wage loss, your pain and suffering, future needs that you require for your medical bills, and we need to find out how much money that at-fault driver has. The second thing we're going to look into is your MedPay coverage. Your MedPay coverage is a policy that you have through your own auto insurance. The insurance company, pursuant to a Colorado statute, must offer you, and if you decline it, you have to sign a waiver. Typically what I see folks have, we have $5,000 of medical payments coverage to use for your medical bills. Sometimes you pay premiums to have more, such as $10,000, but we need to look into that to see if you have a MedPay policy that you paid premiums for from your hard-earned paycheck so that we can use that towards your medical expenses. The important thing to know is sometimes multiple medical payments coverage policies come into play here. So first we're going to look to the vehicle you were in at the time. So let's say you were a passenger in your friend's vehicle. Well, guess what? That MedPay policy on your friend's vehicle applies to you for medical payments coverage. Then we're going to look to your own vehicle. Let's say you have your own vehicle and you have your own insurance policy. Well, guess what? That MedPay also applies and it stacks on top of the other one. So now we have more medical payments coverage to use for your medical expenses, none of which have to be paid back because they're not subrogatable. So that's how medical payments work. So we're going to do a thorough investigation to determine all the MedPay coverages that apply to you. The third topic we're going to talk about today is UM, UIM. That is uninsured motorist coverage or underinsured motorist coverage. And how these coverages come into play in your car accident case here in Colorado is that if you are hit by an at-fault driver and the at-fault driver does not have any insurance coverage, no bodily injury liability coverage at all, if you have UM, that means uninsured motorist, we can make a claim against your own insurance policy. Next, we're going to talk about UIM. So UIM is underinsured motorist coverage. So what this means is that if the other driver has some insurance, some liability insurance, the at-fault driver, but it's not enough to compensate you for all of those economic and non-economic damages. So let's say in our hypothetical, they have $25,000, the minimum here in Colorado. We take that down, we exhaust that policy, then we get permission from your insurance company to settle for that policy limit. And now we have a claim against your own insurance policy pursuant to your UIN. So one of the things we're going to do early on is we're going to investigate all of the UM or UIN policies available to you, depending on the facts of your case. So we're going to figure out who those policies are, which insurance companies. We're going to put them on notice of the claim. We're going to investigate the policy limits so that we know what coverages apply. And then we're going to determine if you even need these coverages. One thing I get asked in every case when I'm talking to my clients about using MedPay or UM/UIN, because those happen to be in your own policy, is what happens to me if I use these coverages? Is my insurance company or my friend's insurance company going to penalize or punish us in some way to use these coverages? But what we want to do is use those because they cannot penalize you. They cannot hike your rates. It's actually forbidden, and we have a good law to use here in Colorado if that were to occur, but they know they can't do that. I want to make sure we get you taken care of, that we get you compensated, that you get better. Your health is paramount. And so in order to get you back to who you were the day before the collision, we've got to get you this medical treatment, and we have to know what policies are in place to compensate you. So I'm very hopeful that today's conversation on insurance policies provided some clarification to you. Did it?
Now I understand.
And don't worry, school's not out forever. We'll be back with another FYI from FWI Education Series. So please call Falgien Warren IRPC. You can call us by phone. You can check our website out at www.fwilegal.com. Our first consultation is free, and we will determine if we can help you out in this case. We will have a thorough conversation about these insurance policies, and then we will be off and running.